You're a kid in the year 2002 and a new game has released called Kingdom Hearts. At the surface, you see Dawn and Goofy on the cover, and in the middle is this oddly dressed boy with a key. You're hoping for just another fun game to play, something to pass the time while your parents are cooking, or perhaps some time to relax after you get home from school. You pop the game into your console, excited to start a new adventure, but really, you have no idea what you've just gotten into. Portraying media through the lens of an iceberg almost describes Kingdom Hearts perfectly. At the surface, with what's just poking above, there isn't always much, but when you take a deep dive below the surface, it seems like there's no end to its depth, and as you go deeper and deeper, you find yourself unable to escape, as all the light above dims out, and all that is seemingly left is darkness. As we dive further and uncover the mysteries of the Kingdom Hearts iceberg, here's a reminder to click the subscribe button. It will protect you from any darkness you encounter below the surface. The Elevator is a story told about the creation of Kingdom Hearts happening by chance when a high-level Square Enix and Disney executive shared a ride on an elevator when both companies were operating the same building. Former series producer Shinji Hashimoto laid the groundwork for what would end up being an unforgettable collaboration. Although, according to the director and character designer of the Kingdom Hearts series, Tetsuya Nomura, this story might be a bit exaggerated. Rather than laying the groundwork for the entire franchise in one elevator ride, it was more along the lines of, it would be great to do something together sometime, and was not a formal idea proposal. Ideas of a Mickey Mouse RPG were brought up, that would snowball into ideas to create a new character that could compete with Nintendo's Mario. Tetsuya Nomura would ask to be involved in this project and lead it. They wanted to use Final Fantasy as a structure for the story, and didn't want something too simple. When creating Sora, the director didn't just want a normal Final Fantasy protagonist. Sora was created to be Disney-esque, as quoted by Nomura, when asked about the creation of the character. With bright colors, the unique weapon design, and two well-known companions at his side, this would result in Sora becoming one of the most iconic characters in RPGs, winning a Guinness World Record for most appearances as the main protagonist of a Square Enix RPG, and his popularity even getting to a boiling point where he was announced as the send-off character for the highest sold fighting game of all time, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And this was only 6 years after Sora would be the real winner of the Smash Ballot, which was used to determine the final characters for Smash on the Wii U. Though Bayonetta would be the character they choose for Smash 4, Sora was the real winner all along. While most Kingdom Hearts fans were in agreement about Sora coming to Smash, when it comes to things regarding the series itself, things can be a little divisive. As Kingdom Hearts kept releasing games through the many console and handheld generations, the story started becoming a bit of a task to keep track of. That's if you didn't have money, that is. Kingdom Hearts, before the introduction of the HD collections in the 2010s, was spread across 6 different consoles, all with games that were canon to the greater story of the series. The remasters for the PS3 and PS4 and the version's later ports would fix the issues almost entirely. It did, however, come with the debate in which order to play the series, release order or remix order. This debate gets increasingly more attention when it comes to one game that's swapped around, Kingdom Hearts 358 by 2 days. This game in release order is meant to be played after Kingdom Hearts 2, as Kingdom Hearts 2 released in 2005 and Days in 2009, meaning you go from Kingdom Hearts 1 to Chain of Memories to Kingdom Hearts 2, then to Days. With the remix order, it will be Kingdom Hearts 1, Chain of Memories, Days, then to Kingdom Hearts 2. This strikes some of the fan base as odd, since this wasn't how a lot of people experienced the tragic story of Roxas as they played the games while releasing, so it can be a hot topic among fans. Because Kingdom Hearts' story has been hammered with the word convoluted for well over a decade. What aided in this was how difficult it was to even play the story in a proper order due to the amount of consoles the story was spread across at one point. Kingdom Hearts infuses plot elements like time travel, multiple versions of a character, and a story that now is threaded through a dense timeline of games that looks like a mountain to climb to anybody who wants to get into the series nowadays. Convoluted just means extremely complex and difficult to follow. The wackiness of the story has led to some fans falling out of the series, or at least not being as engaged as they once were. But on the other hand, these countless layers added to the story has resulted in an extremely captivated side of analysts analysts and theorists who are having some of the most fun with the series ever, trying to decipher the many mysteries of Kingdom Hearts. You could say that the story, for better or for worse, has resulted in the cult-like following it has today, with people that won't ever drop the series until they get the answers they so crave, likely only for new questions to arise from them. In the 2001 beta press kit for Kingdom Hearts, we can see some iconic artworks from Kingdom Hearts 1 with different outfits for Donald and Goofy. Originally, it seemed like they went with Donald and Goofy's classic Disney designs as base before eventually getting their own unique outfit specific to Kingdom Hearts, and they would adjust the character arts accordingly. While Sora would keep his design throughout these artwork changes, Sora as well went through some design changes. In some very early stage concept art for the Kingdom Hearts protagonist, he would have claws, fur, a tail, and wouldn't even have his iconic Keyblade in one of the images. This design has such a strong contrast to the outfit we recognize today, though it still remains a fascinating piece of Kingdom Hearts history. Much like Kingdom Hearts almost getting an animated show on Disney Channel in 2003. Directed by Seth Kearsley, director of 8 Crazy Nights starring Adam Sandler, this project was something that wouldn't make it to the broadcasting stage, but got farther along than you would think, to the point where in 2022, nearly 20 years after the pilot would be shut down due to them planning on making more Kingdom Hearts games, Kearsley would release the full pilot animatic on his channel for Kingdom Hearts fans to see. It had voice acting, music, and had that old Disney charm. It felt like being a kid watching an old Disney cartoon. There are some differences from the Kingdom Hearts plot, like finding Riku in Agrabah compared to finding him in Traverse Town in Kingdom Hearts 1, or Sora having his Keyblade from the beginning, as the pilot did not have any Square Enix involvement whatsoever and would end up being completely made by Disney, although the release of the animatic was really well received and appreciated by the community. Before, all Kingdom Hearts fans knew about the pilot's existence was of some drawn panels. The pilot would unfortunately have to be taken down, however, but what's on the internet stays on the internet, if you catch my drift.
Well, I'm Goofy. Well, you sure are.
Kingdom Hearts 3's development and advertisement cycle is well documented through the dozens of trailers, news articles, and updates on the internet. Kingdom Hearts today runs on Unreal Engine, but at first they tried making Kingdom Hearts 3 using Square Enix's own product, the Luminous engine. In the announcement and early gameplay trailer for Kingdom Hearts 3, you could see that the style looks very different, and not just because it's clearly an earlier build. This was an early attempt at the art style they've dubbed the Kingdom Shader, a blend between Disney and anime that they can adjust to match varying art styles between the many Disney worlds of Kingdom Hearts. On the Luminous Engine's version of this, we had very different lighting, effects, and even moving HUD icons that would later be removed when they made the switch to Unreal Engine. The reason for this switch was due to the many problems they had porting files using the Luminous Engine, causing many problems during development, and during 2014, they had made the decision to switch from their in-house engine over to Epic Games. During this development period for Kingdom Hearts 3, they slowly started revealing more worlds, like Tangled, Frozen, and Toy Story. But there was a world that wasn't announced yet that happened to be leaked. The world for Pixar's Monsters, Inc. was leaked months before it would be revealed in Kingdom Hearts 3 at the end of 2017 through a user on a forum site. Kingdom Hearts and leaks at this time were not a fairly common thing. Developers like to keep their circles tight when it came to anything Kingdom Hearts related, but these early images of Sora and Monsters Inc. with Mike and Sully and some unversed in the background managed to leak out on the FTP server according to the user in the post. Sora's monster design is a bit different here. He's purple and orange instead of gray, and that's because this was actually the original design they were thinking of going with for Sora in the world. Fans also noticed the enemies in the background being unversed from Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, an enemy type connected to a character named Vanitas, neither of which being revealed in Kingdom Hearts 3 at this point. Now, unfortunately, this wasn't the only leak Kingdom Hearts 3 would deal with, and definitely was small in comparison to its biggest one. To understand the severity of this leak, you need to understand just how long some fans have been anticipating Kingdom Hearts 3. Kingdom Hearts 1 was released in 2002. Kingdom Hearts 2 was released in 2005/2006 for the rest of the world. And with all the games in between that would add new characters, stories, and expand the world of Kingdom Hearts, all of it was leading to this, Kingdom Hearts 3, which wouldn't release until the start of 2019, at the end of January. The worst thing that could happen to a fan base eagerly awaiting a climax to a near 20-year journey like this was for it to be spoiled. And nearly 2 months before Kingdom Hearts 3 was released, the entire game was leaked online. From what we're able to understand from this story, may the facts be vague, an employee at a shipping and packaging company stole several, estimated to be around 50 or more copies of Kingdom Hearts 3 for Xbox One and started selling them online, and of course, people bought it. So dozens of people had these copies and were able to leak out details about the game we haven't seen. It got so bad that even the director of the Kingdom Hearts franchise, Tetsuya Nomura, made a statement about it on Twitter. We're aware that a small portion of Kingdom Hearts 3 has been circulating online before its official release. We are also aware as to how this has all happened. We're sorry to see this cause concern amongst our fans who are excited for the release. The whole team has been working together since yesterday night, Japan time, to investigate what we can do to better this situation. But first, we would like to ask that you do not share these videos. The game's epilogue and secret movie, which are the biggest spoilers in this game, are planned to be released at a later date, just in case, so they will not be shown before the game's release. We want everyone to be able to equally experience the full game after its release, so we ask for your continued support on this matter. We're also very grateful that our fans have been warning each other already about the spoilers. Thank you very much. We're 1 month out from release. Let's enjoy the game together when it releases on January 29th, 2019. This was from the director Tetsuya Nomura himself. This situation was hard to navigate as a Kingdom Hearts fan, especially if you make a habit of interacting with other fans on social media. As time went on, the leaks started to be on every video set you could think of, and there was really no other way to avoid spoilers before release than just becoming a ghost online. On a more lighthearted note when it came to Kingdom Hearts 3 being released was that there was a big premiere event Square Enix hosted, where they invited a ton of creators, community leaders, big and small, to play Kingdom Hearts 3 before anyone else. This was a special event and was a really cool way to show love to the community for keeping discussion and excitement about the game alive for years. A lot of big Square Enix executives were there and talked to some of the Kingdom Hearts community members, and from what I know, it was just a really pleasant event to be a part of. With Kingdom Hearts 1 releasing and being a crossover between Square Enix and Disney, you would think the biggest Disney character of them all would show up, and while referenced throughout the game's story, Mickey wouldn't make his appearance until the ending of the first game, though Disney only allowed a silhouette of Mickey to be shown, as another game releasing at the time was using Mickey, a game for GameCube called Disney's Magical Mirror starring Mickey Mouse. Upon hearing this information and these restrictions, the director Tetsuya Nomura wanted to make the most out of this opportunity, and that he definitely did, as it would lead to one of the most impactful and heart-tugging endings the series would ever see. Not only because of Mickey, of course. Speaking of Disney, did you know that Jens's name spelled backwards was Disney? Look, there's someone out there who didn't know. But speaking of things regarding Yen Sid, his tower was mysteriously removed from Kingdom Hearts 3 during development. This was a world showcase in an early Jump Festa trailer in Kingdom Hearts 3, and even aired in Japan on TV at one point. For a Final Fantasy VII anniversary as well, there's an image of Sora mimicking the box art of Final Fantasy VII using Mysterious Tower and one of Kingdom Hearts 3's new Keyblades. This was something Square Enix made to celebrate that anniversary. We ended up visiting Yen Sid's tower quite frequently through the events of Kingdom Hearts 3, so it was just a bizarre playable section to cut out of the final product. However, Kingdom Hearts 3 wouldn't be the only game that have cut content. While Kingdom Hearts 3 managed to have its first Pixar world be Toy Story, the starring characters from the movie, Woody and Buzz, actually almost made an appearance over a decade earlier in Kingdom Hearts 2, as files ripped from the game confirmed there were existing models for Woody and Buzz. While this likely would have been in the form of summons and not a world, it's fascinating to know that these characters were almost an addition to a much older Kingdom Hearts title. The same goes for the Jungle Book world in Birth by Sleep for the PSP. The game was data mined and they were able to access scrapped levels from the Jungle Book world. You can see things like Louie's throne room, transitional passages, villages, and bits of ideas of level design throughout the rooms. It's unknown why this world was scrapped, but it seems like it got farther into concept than any other cancelled world we know about, like Treasure Planet and Dream Drop Distance, which all that remains from this scrapped world is an untextured ship. But the reason we can assume this is Treasure Planet is because of the file name for the world. According to the user who discovered this, the files in Dream Drop Distance for worlds are labeled commonly by their initials. This world was labeled TP, leading one to assume this was going to be the start of our journey to Treasure Planet. Kingdom Hearts has a virtual reality game called the Kingdom Hearts VR experience. It's pretty tame, and for the most part, it's just watching a ton of cutscenes from the Kingdom Hearts franchise with a little bit of combat mixed into it. You have worlds where you can select scenes from Traverse Town, Olympus, and more, with cutscenes across multiple Kingdom Hearts games. It's not a Kingdom Hearts game talked about very often, but it does exist. A game talked about a lot more often, but for a different reason, is Kingdom Hearts VCast. This was an attempt by Disney and Verizon to create a Kingdom Hearts for mobile phones when that sort of thing was still in its infancy. Kingdom Hearts VCast was actually a complete game, where you get to play as Sora through unique worlds like Swashbuckler's Island and such. The story for this game is that Sora is taking a nap on the Gummy ship, and this is his dream. This game has actually been archived very well over the recent years by people who still own the Verizon Wireless. People have ripped every file from this game, except one piece of the game that is truly lost, and that being the Wonderland world it featured. Kingdom Hearts VCast is the poster boy for what not to do with Kingdom Hearts, and maintains relevancy mostly as a meme by the community for how unpolished of a game it is. In case you didn't know, Kingdom Hearts is indeed a Disney game, so there has been a good amount of censorship throughout the series, especially in Kingdom Hearts 2. For example, in the Japanese release for Kingdom Hearts 2, in a cutscene during Disney Castle where Daisy is chasing Donald around, there's a cut where Daisy is hitting or spanking Donald or whatever this is. In the international version, however, it was changed to Daisy just mouthing off Donald. On top of this, you have things like the Hydra's green blood in the original release being changed to a black mist, the undead pirates' guns being changed to crossbows, and these were done for the international releases of Kingdom Hearts 2. Even important cutscenes like Axel's sacrifice were slightly altered in the original cutscene. Axel is a lot more engulfed in his flames, and there's even fire near where he's laying on the ground, compared to the international and modern version where there's virtually none of that, and Axel just does the big attack. In the PS2 releases, Kairi's model also has undergarments, which was completely censored and removed from the modern versions of the game, and there's also things like slight changes to Aqua's design to cover her back a lot more. What a lot of people might not know about the first Kingdom Hearts game is that the vanilla Japanese and English versions have some bizarre differences. It wasn't uncommon for different regions to receive Kingdom Hearts games in the 2000s and even early 2010s months apart from each other. This is because localization was just a lot more difficult compared to how it is now. Also, with the growth of the internet and the world being so connected, it's not worth it to have such large gaps between releases. When it came to Kingdom Hearts 1, it was nearly 6 months between the JP and English releases. Though in this case, the English version actually had more content and polish than the original Japanese version. Like, JP didn't have Sephiroth or Kurtziza bosses at launch, and balance changes like Rock Titan having less HP or changes to Keyblade stats. It's very interesting because most other Kingdom Hearts games wouldn't have this difference between international and local releases, aside from censorship. Rather, the biggest differences would be between the original and the Final Mist copies, which was essentially Kingdom Hearts DLC back then. The Final Mist copies, however, would be exclusive to Japan until the rest of the world finally got the HD collections. But since we mentioned Kurtziza, a nice fact about that boss is that it's named after a real person. Kurtziza is the person who won a contest where they got their name put into the Kingdom Hearts title, somewhat similar to Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, a mobile Kingdom Hearts title that held a contest like this for Kingdom Hearts 3. Getting a whole boss named after you though is pretty amazing, especially in a game as popular as the first Kingdom Hearts title. The openings for Kingdom Hearts have become pretty iconic in the gaming industry. Having unique songs created by Utada Hikaru, a very well-known Japanese artist in Japan, not only boosted Kingdom Hearts' popularity, but the song Simple and Clean would even top music charts in Japan. The director Tetsuya Nomura just knew Utada had to be the singer for Kingdom Hearts 1's opening, and the Kingdom Hearts staff at the time did not think a big-time artist like Utada would accept the offer. Though even to Nomura's surprise, despite his confidence, she would say yes. It seems that they appreciate Utada's involvement so much that many have pointed out that Kairi's hair design always resembles Utada's current hairstyle of the game Kairi's in. The relationship between Square Enix and Utada Hikaru is a very healthy one, since Utada would return and do the openings for both Kingdom Hearts 2 and 3, and likely more games in the foreseeable future. Did you know that in Japan, Square Enix has these beautiful cafes themed after some of their series? Kingdom Hearts even has one as well. It's a place where you can buy plenty of merch, themed food and drinks, and it's just a nice atmosphere if you're a fan of the product. That's not the only Kingdom Hearts themed location that exists though. Kingdom Hearts also has its own themed hotel room in Disney's Tokyo Resort. To celebrate the 20th anniversary, you could get this hotel and even get an Oblivion Keyblade that would open your door. You had themed Sora and Kairi bed sheets and frames, Kingdom Hearts images across the walls, and the most interesting piece of information at the time, a secret chest. This chest was actually a teaser towards something in the future of the Kingdom Hearts franchise that they didn't want anyone to know about for a time. What was in this chest was an Oathkeeper Keyblade with some very distinct differences. Not the typical design we normally see throughout Kingdom Hearts. This likely being some sort of teaser towards Kingdom Hearts 4, though we'll just have to wait and see. Sora's mom has become an on-running gag among Kingdom Hearts fans. The last we heard about her was when she asked if Sora's dinner was ready before he set off on his entire adventure all the way back in Kingdom Hearts 1. This has led to numerous memes and conversations about Sora's parents, most of them just being for laughs and fun. The Kingdom Hearts series doesn't often talk about parents and relatives in its games, until very recently with the Kingdom Hearts mobile games. Kingdom Hearts Dark Road revealed that Xehanort is related to an old Keyblade wielder named Ephemer, and Missing Link in interviews is said to be exploring bloodlines in the Kingdom Hearts series. Missing Link being just a missing piece in a deep dive of history about Kingdom Hearts mobile games. Kingdom Hearts mobile games are canon, and it's something a lot of fans are still coming to terms with as part of the franchise. On one hand, these mobile games are said to have some of the best story ever written in the Kingdom Hearts franchise, some even claiming it's their favorite stories, period. And on the other end, the mobile games are so far from what the Kingdom Hearts series normally is or plays like that it's hard to keep their interest. The majority of fans want remasters or some type of compilation to catch up fans on the mobile stories, or to at least experience them in a better light. Kingdom Hearts 4's first trailer revealed a major character from the mobile game story, and many take that as a statement for how important they will end up being going forward. However, with how mobile games have improved over the years and the lines between mobile and console titles getting blurred, it has a lot of fans excited for Missing Link, as it seems to be a clear step above the rest. But let's just hope it's a step forward. The tragedy that was the cancellation of Versus 13 left a void in a lot of Final Fantasy fans that wouldn't light back up until they would see Azora in Kingdom Hearts 3. A new story and a new character that's very reminiscent of an old one. Final Fantasy fans are all too familiar with the story of Versus 13 to be repurposed into Final Fantasy 15 after Tetsuya Nomura would leave the project to focus more on Kingdom Hearts. This game started development in the mid-2000s, not long after Kingdom Hearts 2 would be released. Being another big project Tetsuya Nomura was developing, he brought the Kingdom Hearts team along with him. Earlier gameplay of Versus 13 shows a combat menu extremely similar to that of the command menu from Kingdom Hearts numbered titles. Square Enix does not like to talk about this game very often, but it's clear that this project was something very near and dear to its director, as he would repurpose this idea in Yazora's story, as evident by the near shot-for-shot recreation of the car ride in Versus 13 trailers, the very same scene we would see Noctis in. The parallels being established for the next saga of Kingdom Hearts are diving deep, as far back as Kingdom Hearts 1, where Yozora recites the iconic opening quote.
I've been having these weird thoughts lately. Like, is any of this for real? Or not?
And even as far back as the Kingdom Hearts 1 Ultimania that released in 2002, not long after the first release of Kingdom Hearts 1 on the PS2, Nomura was asked a secret about the game only he knew. The secret that Nomura would reveal was that those words that appeared in the opening were actually words a character was about to say in the game's ending. While Yozora very likely wasn't thought about at this point, it's perhaps evident they're calling back to this concept. Yozora has many mysteries about him, and it's the defining point in what makes the next story so interesting. Even details in his design has fans theorizing, as on his shoulders there's an image depicting a skull with the crown that has two keyblades crossing behind it, symbolizing perhaps the death of Sora, or what Yozora really means by saving him. Even in his eyes that are two different colors, there's comparisons to Noctis in Versus 13, who had that very same eye color whenever he would attack. Though his eyes normally would be a blue color, Yozora having both could be a callback to this power, maybe resembling some sort of curse or possession. We just mentioned one of the secrets revealed in a book called The Kingdom Hearts Ultimania. This is a series of books not exclusive to Kingdom Hearts, but common by Square Enix that is essentially a glorified guidebook for the game, that also features interviews and facts you might not have known about. There's an Ultimania for almost every major Kingdom Hearts release, including Kingdom Hearts 3. These Ultimanias give heavy insight into developers' thoughts while making these games, and even goes heavy into story decisions. The Ultimanias go so in depth that even for an Iceberg video there's a ton of information. Honestly, the Ultimanias deserve an Iceberg by themselves, but many pieces of information we know about the development of Kingdom Hearts games are sourced from these Ultimanias in their interviews. If you're a Kingdom Hearts fan, you should definitely check these out. Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep was the only Kingdom Hearts game to release on the PlayStation Portable. It was also a Kingdom Hearts game that would greatly expand the universe of the franchise, as for the first time it would explore other Keyblade wielders in the past. We were introduced to the trio of Terra, Aqua, and Ventus, three friends who got separated at the beginning of the game and go on a search to find Master Xehanort and catch up with each other. The end of Birth by Sleep would see Aqua fall into the realm of darkness after trying to save Terra, which is a world we slightly explored in the secret episode of Birth by Sleep. The reception of Birth by Sleep was great at the time, and it's still many fans' favorite Kingdom Hearts title. Nara had a lot of plans for this story and even wanted to do something called Birth by Sleep Volume 2, an implied sequel to Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep that would likely follow the story of Aqua and maybe Master Xehanort. After nearly a decade, Square Enix would never really find the time to do this project, and as focus shifted towards Kingdom Hearts 3 and the HD collections, it seemed like Birth by Sleep Volume 2 would be lost forever. That was until Kingdom Hearts 2.8 was announced, a surprise collection starring Dream Drop Distance, but it featured another game alongside it, Kingdom Hearts 0.2 Birth by Sleep. Nice titles, I know. A story very similar to what Volume 2 would be described as, about exploring Aqua in the realm of darkness. 0.2 would release and be essentially a teaser for Kingdom Hearts 3, starring a unique story with Aqua. This still wasn't called Birth by Sleep Volume 2 though, or at least in title. Volume 2 implies a game that would coexist with Birth by Sleep, almost like a sequel. 0.2 was more like DLC in terms of its length, only lasting a couple of hours at most, though it did have a lot of cool features unique to it, like customization and an objective system. It's interesting to think if this idea would have been any different had it been made shortly after Birth by Sleep like the director maybe intended. In Hollow Bastion and Kingdom Hearts 1, if you go to the waterway, you'll often come across these floating bubbles that are used to transfer our characters between areas. You can actually freeze these bubbles using the Blizzard spell. This was something that actually went relatively unknown by the majority of the community for nearly a decade. You do get a neat little chest out of this though. The final boss of Kingdom Hearts 2, Xemnas, has a phase that we never got to see. This phase was likely going to complement the dragon phase we fight with Riku on a glider. We know of this as King, as we have an image of a giant creature with a crown formed from the dark city of the world that never was. The leading possibility for why this was cut is likely because there were already so many phases to the Xemnas fight that adding even more might have just dragged it out. Or perhaps there were other complications. The Master of Masters is the mastermind behind everything that ever happened in the Kingdom Hearts series. The master of the most ancient Keyblade wielders, a character engulfed in mystery, as he is the next big antagonist in the franchise. The master put his eye in No Name, a Keyblade he gave to Lushu so he could see the future. Since knowing that fact, when you go throughout various Keyblades in the Kingdom Hearts series, you notice that many Keyblades associated with darkness have this eye attached to them. Keyblades like Way to Dawn belonging to Riku, Phineas's Void Gear, Terra's Chaos Ripper, and a few others. It's a neat detail that is yet to be acknowledged directly in the franchise itself, but is a way the Master's presence has been shown throughout our characters' experiences. He's been watching the entire time. Another mystery in Kingdom Hearts is the mystery of the used pods in Twilight Town. In the basement to Diz's study in the mansion, we come across a group of pods. Since Soradon and Goofy used these pods previously to wake up, it makes sense those would be used, though there's pods unaccounted for that say, there's evidence this was used here, leading the player to wonder who would need to use these aside from Soradon and Goofy. It's something players are hoping gets called back to in the future, but as it is, it's very odd and suspicious. When Square Enix would make HD collections for the Kingdom Hearts games, starting with 1.5 for the PS3, would include Kingdom Hearts 1, Chain of Memories, and a movie for days, they immediately ran into an issue. The source code for Kingdom Hearts 1 was lost, meaning they had to essentially actually recreate a lot of Kingdom Hearts 1 using assets from games available like Dream Drop Distance. We aren't quite sure if this was the same case for the other HD collections. Another tidbit about Kingdom Hearts 1 is that there was going to be a Bahamut summon in the game at one point, Bahamut being a very popular summon for Final Fantasy. Through some messing with the game's code on the PS2 version of Kingdom Hearts 1, you can actually pull up the menu option for Bahamut, though it won't do anything as it seems like there was nothing coded for the summon to actually appear. Neither are there any files of a model for it in the game, meaning it possibly never got past the idea phase. In 2015, there was a leak about a Kingdom Hearts game called Kingdom Hearts 2.9. This was only a couple months before the revealed announcement of Kingdom Hearts 2.8, so a lot of people just thought this leak was a mistype on someone's part. Though it remained very bizarre because Kingdom Hearts 2.9 wasn't leaked just once, but twice. Once by a listing of someone who was apparently working on the title for PS3 and PS4, then again at a Square Enix Presents where it was listed alongside Kingdom Hearts 3. For years, people forgot about this leak and assumed it was just an early leak for Kingdom Hearts 2.8, though instead the leak actually was true in part. Kingdom Hearts 2.9 is actually the prologue to Kingdom Hearts 3, which wasn't advertised to fans or anything, just a hilarious moment in the game where the screen cuts to black after the opening scenes and you see Kingdom Hearts 2.9. This was confusing to just about everyone, but more than that, it was funny to those who remember the leaks almost 4 years prior. A neat detail pertaining to the many logos for games and media in Kingdom Hearts is that non-numbered titles, meaning titles outside of Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, 3, and 4, have something in common. Almost all of them have the K and S at the beginning and end of the logo connecting near the center. It's something consistent throughout most of the non-numbered entries in the series. Pretty neat. Now, Heartless are presented as soldiers of darkness in Kingdom Hearts. They inhabit worlds, can be cute and tiny, but also your biggest nightmare. Though if you meet a Heartless in the realm of darkness, they'll give you a cut for free on the house. No, wait, I'm so serious. The Heartless gave Riku a haircut in Kingdom Hearts 3 after attacking him. Before being attacked, his hair was longer, looked like it hadn't been cut in a while, and then after, he has a fresh cut. The in-game scenario for this is that Riku Replica joins with Riku, and the game uses this as a sign for new beginnings with Riku's character. It's still very goofy how this plays out on screen though. One of the earliest showcases of Kingdom Hearts 3 in development was in 2014 at the Kingdom Hearts 2.5 launch event. This event was behind closed doors and had a lot of important Kingdom Hearts staff members. During this event, in footage and concepts still not shown, was early concepts of things like the shooting star Keyblade in Kingdom Hearts 3, showing off the ideas for form changes along with an image of Sora in a chess room, something that wouldn't even happen in Kingdom Hearts 3. All that and a new world called Cable Town. This was the early concept for Scarlet Kylum, which the public wouldn't see until the last Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer in 2018. This event took place at the Walt Disney Animation Studios in Burbank, California, and those attendees definitely had a night to remember. While Disney and Square Enix have had a partnership with Kingdom Hearts since the series' creation, Disney owns the majority of the property related to Kingdom Hearts. Disney owns characters like Sora, Riku, and likely even Yozora. Same goes for a lot of the original worlds represented in Kingdom Hearts. And as the partnership seemingly has remained healthy and fruitful for both parties, it's obvious that Disney is the big dog between the two. Disney being a gigantic corporation owning the likes of Marvel, Star Wars, and so on. While this means that Kingdom Hearts is a near limitless catalog of properties to choose from when creating worlds and new stories, it also means that if Disney just randomly one day decided to pull the plug because, say, it wasn't making them enough money or any problems arose, that could be it for the entire franchise. This fear of Disney being the cause of Kingdom Hearts' downfall has led to fans just not wanting Disney involved at all, especially since as the series has only created more characters and more stories, all written and created by staff at Square Enix, some would rather see them dive deeper into those stories in comparison to exploring Disney worlds. Basically, they want the series to grow up with its audience. A lot of people have been playing Kingdom Hearts since they were kids, and a lot of those fans are now in their 20s or older and want Kingdom Hearts to be cooler. It also doesn't help that there's been theories of Disney tampering with certain worlds in the franchise, like with Frozen and Kingdom Hearts 3, putting restrictions on what developers can do with the world and story. While these situations could just be seen as isolated incidents, they are just theories, and there's no major proof of Disney majorly shutting down or interfering with the production of a world despite players' own dissatisfaction. Regardless, this has the Kingdom Hearts fanbase divided to a degree in how they should handle the future of the series in its worlds. Some believe Disney is fine as it is in Kingdom Hearts and still want to see new movies explored, and IPs they are fond of from newer movies or their childhood favorites, while the other side wants Kingdom Hearts to be more mature and perhaps even edgier, as we might see glimpses of that in Kingdom Hearts 4 as it looks to explore more lifelike aspects of the series. Despite these discussions among fans, Square Enix and Disney both still say they are happy with the collaboration, Disney even saying it's one of their most valued partnerships. A matter of fact, in a game called Disney Infinity that's now no longer receiving support, Disney made the Kingdom Key the ultimate item you'd receive if you collected all of Disney Infinity's figures, which were actual figures you had to buy, by the way, so it was pretty expensive. The Keyblade had fire, blizzard, and even an Ars Arcanum, which you could use to attack enemies. But also regarding expensive things, Square Enix likes to spare no expense when pricing high quality Kingdom Hearts collectibles themselves, like the chess set Master Xehanort and Ericus play on as kids in Kingdom Hearts 3. Square Enix built a real life replica of this and it's over $700. Now of course this chess set is very high quality, so if you're a big fan of Kingdom Hearts, you might definitely enjoy this, though not without paying the ultimate price. Did you know that Kingdom Hearts 3 on console has an exclusive 7-Eleven Keyblade? Yes, a 7-Eleven Keyblade. Well, it is only true in part. In Japan 7-Elevens, if you pre-ordered Kingdom Hearts 3, you got this exclusive Keyblade called Dawn Till Dusk. That was essentially one of the many second forms in Kingdom Hearts 3, which gave you a Firaza and a Fire Boost. This Keyblade was also known as the Amazon Keyblade, as the majority of people who got this Keyblade got it through Amazon, though the intention of it was being the 7-Eleven Keyblade. As you can see, it matches the 7-Eleven color scheme. This Keyblade was downloadable at a way later date through the console stores, but it's pretty interesting how many exclusive Keyblades Kingdom Hearts 3 had depending on where you purchased it. Deep Jungle is a world only ever seen in Kingdom Hearts 1, as Disney doesn't own Tarzan and only ever had permission to make an animated film and also feature it in Kingdom Hearts. However, in Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories and cut content for the Game Boy Advance version, there exists an image clearly showcasing a Tarzan world in the game, as well as a Jungle Key Keyblade card that implies Tarzan was part of the world list at one point. Something else about Deep Jungle is a slide path you can take after sealing the world's keyhole. This is actually part of a mini game that you can complete where you collect the fruit. It's a very scenic path and a lot of people don't know about since many don't revisit Deep Jungle after playing Kingdom Hearts 1. In Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories for the PS2 released in 2008, there are available certain attack cards based on Keyblades obtained in Kingdom Hearts 2. However, in the 1.5 remix, they changed some of these cards to Keyblades that Roxas wields in Days on the DS. Kingdom Hearts has a wide variety of merchandise across the board. Perhaps some of its most interesting apparel is from Super Groupies. Super Groupies essentially offers some modern and fashionable looking anime merch, which Tetsuya Nomura has actually drawn promotional pieces for these collaborations, with characters like Roxas, Sora, and Kairi. Sora's Super Groupies promotional design is actually pretty similar to the look he has for Kingdom Hearts 4, at least in vague color scheme, so maybe they'll reference these designs for other characters as well. You actually might have seen this artwork in the end screen to your critical mode playthrough in Kingdom Hearts 3. Super Groupies does very limited drops, so it's pretty difficult to actually get some of their merch pieces, but the quality is very worth it. Most Kingdom Hearts games have some type of journal or secret reports you collect throughout the game. Kingdom Hearts 1 has the Ansem reports, Days has Roxas' journal, Birth by Sleep has Xehanort's reports, and so on. Each of these documents and entries you collect throughout the game reveal bits of information about the world, its characters, and often many things you don't know about, or won't even be able to make sense of until later. This is especially the case with Kingdom Hearts 3 secret reports, which talk heavily about a girl trapped in the basements of Radiant Garden, and about the inevitable return of the one true master in Kingdom Hearts. All of these teasings towards future events in Kingdom Hearts' story that you'll only really be able to come close to piecing together if you have all the information. These reports go unread by a lot of players, as it can be difficult to collect all of them in one playthrough if you're not looking for them, that is. However, it is more than possible, as they dive very deep into the depths of Kingdom Hearts' lore. In the year of 2016, during the Kingdom Hearts First Breath concert, the voice actors for Naminé and Terra were in attendance. During a time period before Kingdom Hearts 0.2, the voice actors would recite lines that would never be heard in either Kingdom Hearts 2.8 or Kingdom Hearts 3, making these lines of dialogue exclusive to this orchestra. This interaction was meant to just be a special thing for the orchestra attendees. This conversation was with Anamine following Sora's heart, which led her to lingering will in the darkness. The conversation mainly reveals that Namine gave Terra a heads up that Aqua would visit him in the Realm of Darkness, which we see play out in Kingdom Hearts 0.2. They somewhat follow up on Namine and lingering will having a connection in Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind, when Namine guided Sora to Terra in that battle. This interaction from the concert is available in no official capacity anywhere else, which makes this an instance of canon Kingdom Hearts lore existing outside of the games. Regarding lore that might be canon in another game but will scrap before release, Yozora has 2 other companions alongside him in that Verum Rex trailer we see in Kingdom Hearts 3, right before the Toy Story world this trailer plays, and right after our characters arrive in the world and Rex recognizes Sora as Yozora. But there is a removed portion of this cutscene where Rex also recognizes Donald and Goofy as Magia and Aegis.
And these are his super sidekicks, Magia and Aegis!
Which we can assume are the 2 other characters in this trailer fighting alongside Yozora, Magia translating to magic in Latin, as we see them in the red hair doing a lot of magic spells throughout the trailer, and Aegis translating to protection or shield, as we see these green defense moves throughout the trailer as well. These cutscenes were never leaked. They were officially available in the Kingdom Hearts 3 premiere event demo that many members of the community were invited to. It just happened to be cut from the full release around a year later. It's unsure why they chose to remove this interaction from the full game. The possible reason might be that it would have come off confusing to casual players, as a duck and a dog look nothing like 2 other human characters, compared to Sora, who doesn't look much like Yozora either, but at least he has that same anime art style. Another reason could simply be that they want to expand on these characters in the future and would rather the focus be on Yozora right now. Either way, this removed cutscene is still out there on the internet, and so these 2 other characters have names for now. That could still be subject to change. The World Ends With You made its debut to the Kingdom Hearts universe in Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. Unlike with Final Fantasy's integration into the franchise, the World Ends With You cast remains their normal selves in Kingdom Hearts, and the Traverse Town they are in is treated as a part of the Reaper's game, which is one of the driving plot points of the World Ends With You. Neku and others before Sora parts ways from the cast even invite Sora to Shibuya, which is where they are from, which in the secret ending to Kingdom Hearts 3, we see that very same Shibuya, recognizable by the 104 building and Shibuya Crossing. There's a lot of vague connections and potential references here pointing at something greater connecting the 2 worlds. Sora breaking the rules of nature and being sent to the afterlife known as Quadratum can draw a lot of comparisons to the Reaper's game in The World Ends With You. While the director claims that this Shibuya we see in Kingdom Hearts is not the same one that Neku and his friends reside in, we'll just have to wait and see, as the door is definitely open to visit those characters again. Kingdom Hearts lore can get dark, but there's not much I would describe in the series as genuinely creepy or unsettling, at least compared to this discovery about the iconic opening from Kingdom Hearts 2 Sanctuary. In both versions of Sanctuary, performed by popular Japanese singer Utada Hikaru, there's moments of the song that are reversed, but what happens when we unreverse those moments? He was Ansem. I need more affection than you know. This definitely is unsettling when listening. It's almost like these are the inner thoughts of Sora while he's asleep, or perhaps even another character. Perhaps one of the darkest parts of Kingdom Hearts 3's story is when Sora is in the final world, a world many stop at when their body and hearts perish at once, which is pretty much death in the Kingdom Hearts world, though these stars seem to be in limbo, something much like Sora still tying them to this world, almost trapped here. As Sora, you can talk to what are floating stars near the ground. If you interact with these stars, you'll read the thoughts of nameless characters and what are assumed to be their passing thoughts. A lot of these stories represent a struggle in their hearts, whether it's over some fight, love for another person, or even regret. A lot of these stories are sad, and you never find out who these characters are, not directly at least. Some of these people sound like Keyblade wielders, some sound like things you can apply to everyday life, though as it stands, much is still unknown about the final world and these stars that reside in them, possibly forever trapped in this limbo state. Square Enix has a way of putting together trailers that can make even the most distant of fans feel hype and excitement. However, some of the first trailers for many Kingdom Hearts games look drastically different from how the full game would. Like how for Kingdom Hearts 1, we can see Sora running through Disney Castle, which never made it as a visitable world in the base game. We also have what are very different looking models of Sora, Riku, and Kairi, mostly in their faces. In Kingdom Hearts 2's first trailer, we also see Hollow Bastion from Kingdom Hearts 1, a world that has completely changed in its look by the time you play Kingdom Hearts 2. This on top of many cutscenes and animations that you don't end up seeing in the full game. Something that Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep trailers are full of. On top of not having much of Aqua in it at all, there's completely different lines of dialogue by Master Xehanort, interaction with Terra and Ventus that doesn't happen. Ventus is using Roxas' model, and even the gameplay looks a little different. It still runs the command deck like the full game, but the ability to cancel command deck spells into each other seem to exist in this version, something only capable through mods in the game's current state. Birth by Sleep was intended to be released on the PS2 in its original inception, but would release on PSP, and the driving motive behind this was allegedly due to the desire for more accessible multiplayer functions that we would see in Mirage Arena. Kingdom Hearts Recoded is notorious for being the Kingdom Hearts title with the weakest story. However, as the name implies, there is an original version of Kingdom Hearts Coded that was released on mobile phones in Japan. This version of the game would release episodes or story for Coded in an episodic format. It was actually considered at one point by the Square Enix team to release Coded episodes on Nintendo's WiiWare, which was essentially an eShop for the Wii. This was talked about in the Kingdom Hearts Recoded Ultimania. In 2009, around the release for Kingdom Hearts 358 by 2 Days, Disney and Square Enix released a web browser game on Disney's website called Days Magical Puzzle Clash. This served as a small advertisement for Days and was one of those matching games where you had to match 3 of the same color icons. You could choose characters between Roxas, Axel, and Xion, but it didn't make any major gameplay difference. This game was discontinued and is no longer accessible officially. Kingdom Hearts, for all its theorists and lore fanatics, has a really hardcore community centered around its gameplay. Kingdom Hearts is highly praised for being one of the best modern action games, and just off of gameplay alone, especially when referencing games like Kingdom Hearts 2 and Kingdom Hearts 3, has some fans' favorite bosses in gaming. This part of the fan base is always looking to challenge themselves and test their knowledge with Kingdom Hearts, and Square Enix has catered to these fans for some time, offering options like a level 1 difficulty which you can begin at the start of the game by selecting the EXP 0 option in your abilities. This makes the game immensely more difficult and can make some of the hardest bosses like Izora and Leering Will absolute nightmares to defeat. Despite the difficulty, if you're a fan of Kingdom Hearts' gameplay, it's a neat way to learn a lot more about the combat, as things that were once optional now become a necessity to learn for victory. It's a lot of fun if you enjoy challenging games. Some of the most niche of Kingdom Hearts lore is within the mobile games that fans acknowledge as the Key Saga. There's now 3 sagas in the Kingdom Hearts franchise: the Dark Seeker Saga, the new and upcoming The Lost Masters arc, and then the Key Saga, covering the prequel era of Kingdom Hearts before Birth by Sleep. This includes games like Kingdom Hearts Key, Kingdom Hearts Kingdom Cross / Unchained Key, Kingdom Hearts Dark Road, and an upcoming game called Kingdom Hearts Missing Link. These stories cover the fairy tale era of Keyblade wielders, when societies and factions were a thing, and collecting light and fighting darkness were a part of those wielders' everyday lives. These stories tie back to a greater plot about a plan orchestrated by the Master of Masters that we in part see play out today in the Kingdom Hearts series, like with the Master's apprentice Lushu being ordered to pass his Keyblade down to characters like Xehanort who would help spread darkness throughout the world. It also revealed that characters like Ventus from Birth by Sleep and Marluxia from Chain of Memories are Keyblade wielders from a very distant past, which adds very deep layers to their characters and backgrounds. Not to mention, the new characters have drastic effects on what is happening in the story today. The Key Saga lore is perhaps some of the most in-depth the franchise goes with its themes, characters, and the franchise's just overall greater purpose. Many want to see these stories remastered and not trapped on mobile devices, and while those are definitely possible to happen, it seems like Square Enix would rather prioritize on moving the series further as they inch towards completing the next numbered installment. But as it stands, these mobile games are very fascinating pieces of media that offer amazing insight into the greater story of the franchise. In November of 2018, Amazon announced that they were going to be showing new footage of Kingdom Hearts 3 during one of their Prime Game showcases. Unknown to Amazon, the Kingdom Hearts fans would completely take over the stream. Not caring about any of the other games showcased, the Twitch chat was all Kingdom Hearts fans begging for KH3. The people hosting this noticed the chat, and maybe even got a bit annoyed it seemed at KH fans spamming the stream. Regardless, their response to this was to just show the trailer, and when they did, it was a trailer that had already released just weeks ago, called the Together trailer, which was a promotional trailer Square Enix ran in movie theaters and TV commercials. The only somewhat new thing in the showcase was the Amazon/7-Eleven Keyblade screenshot they showed at the end. Clearly, Kingdom Hearts fans didn't take kindly to this. It wasn't worth getting too hung up over though, as Kingdom Hearts 3 was just a few months from release. Kingdom Hearts 3's Gummy Ship was actually developed by the same team that created the PS1 shooter Einhander. This is made more obvious when you notice the references to the PS1 classic in KH3's Gummy Ship mode. We have the Endiamond Gummy Ship, which was the main ship you'd use during the shooter, on top of a boss called Schwarzgeist, fightable in the second Gummy Ship zone in Kingdom Hearts 3. When you fight this boss with the Endiamond ship, it will straight up just play the original track from the game, an awesome nod to a Square Enix classic. Kingdom Hearts Union Cross has some of the darkest lore in Kingdom Hearts. It's very common that things from the past affect Kingdom Hearts' future. A dark example of this is the reveal at the ending of Union Cross is that Dream Eaters are actually the many kids that inhabit Daybreak Town. During this limbo state of their heart and body, the Charities combine with their hearts to protect them and take the form of a Dream Eater, the creatures we both befriend and fight in Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. We're unsure as to if these creatures are able to be returned to their normal states or if they're trapped as Dream Eaters for all time. This explanation might somewhat explain Sora's unique connection to them, being able to use them in the real world as summons in Kingdom Hearts 3 and such. This isn't the only example of there being a darker secret behind the creatures in Kingdom Hearts though. Through the mobile games, we've been introduced to these creatures called Darklings as well. The lore states that they are a form of pureblood Heartless, but a unique detail about them is that they are the only form of Heartless that can actually speak. They are born from the darkness in Keyblade Warrior's heart specifically, and with this humanoid form, they definitely stand out from other dark beings. We don't see much of them in the modern timeline. Characters like Sora and Riku reside in, except for with one character in Kingdom Hearts 3 who clearly has similarities to the Darklings in their design, that being Auntie Aqua, who after losing a battle with Ansem would succumb to darkness herself. But she mostly maintained her form when in this state, which perhaps could be due to her being a Keyblade master with a strong heart. As we know, those with strong wills and bonds can hold on to some of their identity even while falling to darkness. With Union Cross merging its way into the modern story of Kingdom Hearts, it's fascinating to think about if we'll see more of these Darkling creatures, and perhaps even more of an explanation as to what they are. Aerith in Kingdom Hearts 1 was originally going to be Aya from Parasite Eve. The main reason for the switch to Aerith was because some of the staff members who had worked on Final Fantasy VII at the time requested for Aerith to be in the game. Parasite Eve is another Square Enix classic from the PlayStation 1 era, released in 1998 when the company still went by Squaresoft. It's interesting to think about if the role would have been any different if it was played by Aya instead of Aerith. Maybe one day this character will find their way into Kingdom Hearts, as the series calls back to its origins in the next saga. In the Dream Drop Distance Ultimania, series director Tetsuo Nomura mentions a mystery Kingdom Hearts game that was cancelled. He said it was a title that was going to be created after Birth by Sleep, and this isn't referencing Birth by Sleep Volume 2, because at this point in time, in early 2010s, Birth by Sleep Volume 2 was still talked about openly by the director. Even the previous question in this interview was about Birth by Sleep Volume 2, where Nomura would say there's no plans as of now, but also didn't completely shut down the possibility of it happening. With this game, Nomura is quick to shut this down and say, it's a shame, but we won't be starting that project again. This project was actually first mentioned in the Days Ultimania, where Nomura would bring the project up in the interview for the book when asked about what title will release after Birth by Sleep, where he says the following: "I can't say that quite yet, but it will be more official than a side story. I actually told the producer this recently and he said, 'What?' It's the Mystery Kingdom Hearts game." Of course, I am also thinking about Kingdom Hearts 3. This title would not end up being Dream Drop Distance, neither would it be discussions about Birth by Sleep Volume 2, and apparently it was more official than a side story, whatever that means. This is truly a scrap Kingdom Hearts game we know nothing about that was cancelled. The only possibility that could remain is that perhaps this title was early concepts for Kingdom Hearts Key, which would first release as a web browser game in July of 2013. Perhaps there were bigger plans for Kingdom Hearts Key than this that were ultimately shut down, and the compromise would be creating a lower budget web browser experience. This is a stretch though, but the fact that this title was even mentioned in interviews only to later be cancelled can't help but pique interest. Aside from the Ultimanias, there's another Kingdom Hearts book called the Kingdom Hearts Character Files. This was a book released after Kingdom Hearts 3, which would feature mostly exclusive character stories. These are one of the few books that are actually available in both English and Japanese, often covering big events and what the characters' inner thoughts were as these moments were happening. In some cases, there's even completely new stories and dialogue from these characters, like with Xigbar, who has a story called The Fool. A very interesting read that dives into the mental state of Xigbar, or who you might know as Lushu. This is a story where he's talking to somebody else, venting all his thoughts, frustrations, calling others stupid or simple-minded. No one truly knows what's in the black box. What kind of black really is it? If the world were to end tomorrow, would you do something about it, or would you just wait for your end? He asks questions like this, as he himself seems to show a struggle with his own identity. The only thing seemingly keeping his mental at bay is the reunion we see in the epilogue, forever drifting through time, waiting for that moment where his mission finally is complete. You get to read even more of his inner thoughts as he has the conversation with Sora in Olympus. He's playing the fool. He wants a Keyblade, even though he's a Keyblade wielder himself in truth. Talking about things like how he lost the black box, something maybe teased in the conversation he has with Luxord. But if he truly lost the box, then how did he end up within the epilogue? There's so many questions throughout this, but what's clear is that it shows that Xigbar definitely over time experienced some sort of multiple personality disorder, which definitely could happen if you have to spend multiple lifetimes as different people. This story is very bizarre yet fascinating, as it gives an inner look into Lushu you otherwise might not ever see. It's unknown if these character files are canon to the series, at least in any important required way, but they definitely add on to the layers of some of these characters, and it's well worth any fan's time to read. A big mystery regarding Yozora is his powers. The closest thing we have to a reference for what to call them is on the back of the box to Verum Rex in the Toy Box video game store. On the back, you can read some lines about the story, and it talks about a power or something called karma. Could this be the name for the power Yozora uses in Kingdom Hearts 4 or against us in Kingdom Hearts 3? Karma. There's also the tip you receive while dying to the Yozora secret boss, where it calls Yozora's attacks creations. This is a vague term that is general enough to be applied to many things. However, when you tie this into the new mechanic readable on Kingdom Hearts 4's command menu, which translates to build from Japanese, you can maybe draw some comparisons. This being one of Kingdom Hearts 4's newer mechanics, we don't know much about it, but just based off of the word itself, build, it could imply some sort of power that we use off of our enemies or off of objects around us. Maybe something similar to how Yozora steals our Keyblade, building our powers on top of that. These could be pieces to a puzzle on how Verum Rex or Quadratum's power system works. With Yozora being a new character in the Kingdom Hearts series, there's a lot of mystery to him just based on the context we already have, with his similarities to Noctis in Versus 13, or reciting the opening quote of Kingdom Hearts 1 in KH3's secret ending. There's one twist that is actually a possibility when it comes to his character. Yozora has similarities to Noctis, yes, but the parallels they are going with are that of Sora's. Yozora also has two companions by his side on his journey. He has a girl he is trying to save as well. But there is one aspect of the Kingdom Hearts lore that is often forgotten nowadays, that Yozora might be calling back to. Sora was never supposed to receive the Keyblade, as in, he shouldn't have. In that moment on Destiny Islands, it was supposed to be Riku, as he did the Rite of Succession with Terra. Sora purposely not being chosen because of Riku already having that interaction. Though as Riku would choose darkness, the Keyblade would go down the list and go to Sora, and that would end up being the rest of our story. However, Riku would still end up getting a Keyblade in the end anyways, and would even become an official Keyblade master, though he had to go down a very dark and dangerous path to do so. What if the real parallel that is being drawn here is the original one? Yozora is a alternative of Riku, who had gotten the Keyblade on Destiny Islands. Riku, in his Kingdom Hearts 3 design in particular, draws heavy similarities to Noctis's FF15 design, similar to how Yozora does, and Riku is the one Yozora is staring down in that secret ending. So maybe that's the first encounter we'll have with Yozora in Kingdom Hearts 4, and maybe this is the next arc Riku goes on. It'll be interesting to see if this theory comes true at some point. Kingdom Hearts 1, even after 20 years of release, is still filled with so much mystery that the series still expands upon to this day. After the ending of the game, one of its many hints towards a greater story was in the secret ending Another Side, Another Story. One clip in the secret ending shows a girl on an island presumed to be Kairi, but in a very different art style and a very different outfit. Many see this as an early teaser towards Kairi in Kingdom Hearts 2, but nowadays this scene stands out a lot more, kind of out of place, and there's another possibility, that this could be the nameless star from the Verum Rex trailer in Toy Box, that girl Yozora was trying to save. We can infer this is the nameless star due to the star-shaped necklace. This character, while she's in a different outfit, has a more similar hair color to this art style seen in Kingdom Hearts 1's cutscene. While this is definitely a reach, what makes this possible is that Nomura has already drawn parallels to Yozora in Kingdom Hearts 1 Sora, with him reciting the opening lines from the same game. So while they may be in different realities from each other, maybe their paths were very similar. The parallels between the world of Verum Rex and ours might run a lot deeper than just Sora and Yozora. It could also apply to other characters. Kingdom Hearts is a franchise that is still ongoing with many secrets and mysteries to explore. I'm hoping that out of those mysteries I did cover and talk to you about today, that you found at least a decent bit of them interesting. I made the majority of this iceberg myself with some inspiration and cross discussion with other community members. When it came to this iceberg video concept, I was surprised there wasn't a lot of icebergs covering the Kingdom Hearts franchise. So I figured it'd be awesome to make one from a Kingdom Hearts YouTuber's perspective. If you made it this far, I thank you so much and hope you want to check out some of my other content. Other than that, if you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, share it with a friend or a family member, and last but not least, if you have not already and want to become a part of the union, all you have to do is hit a red subscribe button down below. My name is Prodigy, and I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out, you guys. Bye!
Now she's a daydreamer. Always thinking about him. No more room in this picture for you to fit in. Now she's crying on the phone, telling you she's not good enough for him. When you think that she is perfect.